vidner om akutte allergiske reaktioner og respirationsproblemer blandt din plads nu.
Du kan aldrig vide, hvornår verden forandrer sig.
Men øjenvidner fortæller, at symptomerne kom efter et voldsomt regn.
Men når den gør, skal du være klar. Jeg skal ikke leve i en død verden. Jeg er nødt til at tage tilbage til Rasmus.
Simon og Rasmus har forandret sig. Men han vil også leve tingene om.
Vi skal redde liv, Rasmus.
I skal alle sammen blive som mig. Vi kan skabe en ny verden.
Det kommer til at være overalt. Din bror er helt. Nej.
Jeg er et monster.
Rasmus, det her er ikke løst.
Men det er jo mig, der kan redde dem alle sammen. Det er mig, der
Jeg kan slå os alle sammen ihjel.
Hvad gør I?
Jeg skal stoppe ham.
Jag kommer inte kunna hjälpa alla. Du måste välja.
Det er sådan, at du overlever. Er I klar?
Det her er mellem Rasmus og mig.
Simona!
Fala galera do Backstage, eu sou a Aline. Estamos aqui com mais uma entrevista pra vocês, dessa vez com o Lucas Lingard. Ele interpreta o Rasmus in The Rain. E ele nos contou um pouco sobre como tem passado de quarentena, quais são os novos projetos que estão vindo por aí. E, claro, como foi gravar as cenas finais da terceira e última temporada de The Rain. E ainda fizemos uma brincadeira com ele leu alguns tweets em português de alguns fãs brasileiros. Tá muito divertido. Então não se esqueçam de se inscrever no canal, deixar o like e o seu comentário dizendo se curtiu a entrevista. Beijo!
How are
How
you?
you guys? I'm good. How are you guys?
We're great. Thanks so much for doing this. We finally made it.
Did it. We made it.
Yay.
Thank you so much. It's been a quite tough week, so I'm glad we could make this happen anyways.
Yeah, we're super happy about it. So, how has this quarantine been for you? Like, are you doing a lot of projects? Are you enjoying this time, like maybe to chill out a bit? Are you feeling creative, inspired?
In the beginning, I had absolutely nothing to do at all. I found myself in my apartment wanting to change everything in my apartment, so I did that with my girlfriend. So we redecorated my whole room and my whole flat, so that's lovely. And then I missed working a lot. So I wrote on something with my girlfriend, some upcoming projects, and slowly we are beginning to open up here in Denmark. So projects is coming up, and that's wonderful.
Awesome. So let's talk about your career for a bit. I know you your debut as an actor was in 2012, correct?
Correct.
So back then, did you know that you wanted to follow this career, or were you just like experimenting?
I always have been a guy with a lot of energy, and I always wanted to do something with that energy. I went to a singing school here in Denmark when I was growing up. I sang a lot, and I loved to use my body and dance and do whatever I could with all the energy I had. So I think one day my father was like, hey, there's this audition for this children's circus thingy. You want to send in the tape and see what happens? And I was like, sure, let's do it. And my father filmed me in our backyard where he lived, and I got the part. And since then, I just absolutely loved it. I did the circus thing for a whole summer break, and I remember I was like, yeah, I could do this all day. And then it just went from there, and I never looked back.
Did you have like any backup plans?
No. I mean, I started when I was 11. So at the time, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to be, and who I wanted to be, and acting just became a really natural thing for me to just clinch my hands on, and just it was so natural for me to just do that, I think.
Yeah. And Netflix, now you're in The Rain, of course. And I feel like Netflix is a great platform for like what we would call foreign productions to become a hit in different countries. So The Rain is Danish, and it was on top 10, like the week it was released. It was on top 10 on Netflix on 24 countries, including here in Brazil, which is amazing.
That's crazy.
I want to know, when you said yes to this job, did you expect it to be like such a hit?
I had no idea. I had absolutely no idea. We knew when we were doing it that it was the first Danish original Netflix series, but we had no idea that it would be seen by so many people all over the world. I had no idea. I don't know if anyone had, but I mean, if they had, they didn't say, at least. So it was just a crazy experience to see and feel how many people actually have watched the show. I can't really tell you that I had no idea that it was going to happen. But I mean, I'm glad that so many people watched the show, and I'm glad so many people liked the show. And of course, it's sad that it's ending now, but it was a pleasure.
So your character, he goes for a lot of changes throughout the seasons. Sometimes we love him, and then by the end we're like, oh my God, what are you doing? So I want to know, what's the biggest difference between you guys, and what can you guys relate?
Character-wise, with Rasmus or what? I think I can relate a lot to his innocence and his the way he's naive. But I can't really relate to all his anger issues. I mean, I'm a guy that rarely gets mad at anything or anyone. I rarely raise my voice at any times. So on that side, we're quite opposite. But his emotional gear towards feelings, and regarding love, and the way he wants to feel around his family, and I can relate to some of that. But yeah, not the anger guy, the mad Rasmus. I can't relate to that guy.
Yeah. So maybe some people were like sad about the ending, how the way things ended for Rasmus. Do you believe he deserved a different closure, or do you think it was perfect the way it ended?
I mean, we can all have opinions on how we wanted the show to end, and I think everyone who loves the show and likes the show really wanted the good ending, the way that everything gets resolved and everything gets like Simone and Rasmus finds together and are gonna be a family again, and no one was happy. I think we all want that at some point, but I think it would be tough to say goodbye to someone that is still out there. If I feel like when you watch something and you just know, oh, not everything is great in that world, so but you can't really leave it behind. Then if we close it the way we close it, it's easier for people to let it go. In what terms you can say. But I mean, we all have different opinions on how it should be ended. I feel like it was I always remember in season 2, I was like, I'm gonna die at some point. The series, so I kind of knew that was gonna happen. I didn't know how, but yeah, the ending is what happened, and if fans are sad or disappointed, I hope that they can rewatch the show and enjoy all the times that things were actually great at some point. And then for some other projects we're gonna do.
I was so sad because Rasmus was my favorite character. And I was like, oh my God, no, I can't die. But then, if you look at it, like, he actually ended up saving everyone, which was what he wanted to do. So I feel like that's perfect.
Nice. I'm glad you liked it. And I'm glad Rasmus is your favorite character.
And I want to know about, like, what was the hardest scene for you guys to shoot? Because I feel like maybe you had to use a lot of green screen and everything because of the virus and the powers that he had. So I want to know which was the hardest scene and why.
Fun fact, we actually did not use any green screens besides in Stain's office where this waterfall is outside the window, and sometimes where we have to do some VFX. Other than that, no scenes where I am using virus. There's no green screen actually. So that's no, it's true. But the hardest scene, it was probably when we had to do a scene right after, spoiler alert, right after scene out of the bridge, from the bridge, and Rasmus is in his room and he throws everything and he gets really sad. I remember when we had to do that and I'm punching the wall. Before that, the chair I'm throwing in the scene that's in the show, I actually throw it way too hard, so the glass in the box shatters. It completely shatters, so we had to stop recording for that day. Everyone had to, because it took so long to replace. And the same day, I fractured my shoulder for punching the wall. So 2 weeks after that scene, I was my back hurt, my shoulder hurt so much. So I had to just go with that for 2 weeks, and it really hurt. And I remember it was affecting so much because I couldn't, it was so hard to focus because it just hurt so much, and we couldn't, I took it, I think I underestimated how much it actually hurted on me because I just wanted to work and I didn't want to delay anything. But yeah, that was really tough. But I got through it. Everything is fine. My shoulder is fine. Nobody died. So that was probably the toughest 2 weeks of shooting the rain.
Oh my God, I can imagine. And you have to pretend everything's fine.
Yep, everything's fine. You guys all right? I'm just really mad. Mad.
I saw that you guys actually, the last scene you shot, it was really, really cold, about 4 degrees or something like that.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys are more used to cold weather than we are, because here it's very hot all the time. So 4 degrees would be crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty cold, but we're Danes, we're Scandinavian, we're used to the weather. It was really cold in the swimming pool. It was really tough because I only had a tank top on, so my arms were just as ice. Sometimes I was like, can I even move my fingers? It was so cold. So that was really tough as well, and we had to do that whole scene, that whole moment, that the last episode of The Rain where they're in the swimming pool. It took 2 weeks to shoot, so it was really cold for 2 weeks.
Oh my God, I would cry because right now it's 20 degrees here in Brazil, and I have heat on. So
okay, 20 degrees and you have heat on? Jeez.
Yeah.
I think it's 8 degrees right now, and My window's open.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Oh.
So I want to know, like, for you, which would be like the perfect collab? Who would you want to work with?
Like of all actors.
Yes.
Oh, that's an easy one. Robert Pattinson.
Really?
Yes, I love that man. I've been following him throughout his years, trying to figure out what he wants to do. He's been doing a lot of indie films. It's just his recent films. I mean, The Lighthouse. I just saw Tenet, and he is marvelous in Tenet, and he's just a brilliant actor. He's so underrated. And he's doing Batman now. He's gonna play Batman, and he's just a wonderful. He seems like a wonderful guy and such a talented guy. And I would love to work with him. I would love to learn so much from him because he has such a unique acting style. So yeah, definitely Robert Pattinson.
That's a great choice. I really like him, and I'm very excited about the Batman. I feel like you might be too.
Oh yeah, I am.
So what are the next steps in your career? Like, can you tell anything about your next projects?
I mean, it's kind of hard to say anything. But one thing that I can say is in a week, I'm going to Milano, and I'm going to be on the runway for Giorgio Armani.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
So that's the only thing I can say because everything else is just chush. But that's pretty cool. I'm so excited for Milano. I hope that we can get to go and everything is stable and it's possible. So yeah, that's pretty exciting.
Have you ever walked the runway before?
No, I have not. So that's gonna be pretty nerve-wracking. But I mean,
your walk?
It's just a floor, it's just a floor. You just have to go. I practiced walk. Some of my friends were over last night, and I tried to show them. They were like, "Dude, you have to practice." I was like, "Isn't that bad?" Yeah. So I've been practicing on my walk.
But you're gonna kill it, I'm sure.
Oh, thank you.
So, Lucas, we have actually selected some tweets from fans of the race. They're in Portuguese. And we wanted to see if you could try and react to them, to maybe see if you can find out what they're saying. And if not, I think it's going to be very hard because we have very different languages.
Okay. What language is it?
In Portuguese.
Oh, it is in Portuguese. Jeez. Okay.
I feel like it's going to be funny just for you to try and guess. But we're going to read it out for you anyways in the end. So
I am waiting. Exciting.
Have you ever heard anyone speak Portuguese before?
I mean, probably. I think it would be hard to know. It's not hard to tell actually. But I have heard something. I can't even say anything, I think.
But that's totally fine because
I'll just use my instincts, and you're gonna give me some tips, all right?
Sure.
You're gonna give me.
I will.
Okay? Nice.
So, I don't know if you can see it.
I can see. Can you see me?
Yep, we can.
Okay. Whew, this is gonna be a tough one. All right.
That's very, very easy.
Is this?
Yes.
Okay. Should I read it out loud?
If you want to, that would be really good.
I can give it a shot here. All right. Okay. So is the O? Is it part of the tweet?
Yep.
Okay. O Lucas Lundgaard é muito lindo, misericordianem guindaste.
You actually did awesome.
Did I?
Yeah.
What? Okay.
That's perfect.
Okay. Can you say it? Just in Portuguese.
Yeah. O Lucas Lingard é muito lindo. Misericórdia, nem guindaste.
Okay. That was so far from mine. Like
It wasn't.
It was not even close. Okay. Should I try to guess what it is?
Yep.
My God. Lucas Lynggaard Tønnesen cooks great food.
It pretty much says, oh my God,
What?
Lucas Lingard is really, really beautiful.
Oh my God, I can't say that. I can't. Okay. That was pretty easy. But
Yeah, pretty easy.
I appreciate muito praça meu nome Otaria.
That's the name of the person, but it's actually saying, very nice to meet you. My name is Loser.
Nice to meet you, loser.
So,
Okay.
the second one.
Okay. This is closer to something I'm gonna try it out. Foraque assistindo the rain comisse acredita que a cura para o COVID e uma flor.
That's great. You're nailing it. I swear.
No,
You are a Brazilian.
oh wow, okay, I'm a Brazilian. Wow. I mean, you guys are just saying it because you have to.
No, really, that's really good.
Okay, let me.
What do you think it says?
I believe it says, "The rain, please help us find a cure to COVID."
That's close, actually.
What does it say?
It says, the thing is, when I'm watching the rain, I've started to believe that the cure for COVID is a flower.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Okay. That's a great tweet. Yeah. Okay. Not even close. Not
Yeah,
even
but
close.
it's close. Let me see.
Right. Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna try and read it.
Yeah.
How many are there?
This is the last one.
Okay. Eu fui inventar de ver a third season de The Rain e apaixonei-me alinta pelo Lucas Lynggaard Tønnesen. Eu estou me luto nessa vida. Picture of me and a meme saying something like, "Oh, bruh."
Yeah. This is like a very famous meme here in Brazil.
Is it?
Meme lady. Yeah.
Meme lady.
Yep. Her
Okay,
name is
what does it say?
So it says, I decided to watch season 3 of The Rain and fell in love with Lucas Lingard's character. I'm so deluded.
And what does the meme say?
I want him so bad.
That's not cool.
Okay, that was not even close.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was great. That was so fun.
Guys, so much for sending these through.
So, Lucas, just to finish, we want to ask you just to send a message to your Brazilian fans because the show is very popular here and you have a lot of fan clubs here.
Oh, I do.
You do.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you guys so much for watching The Rain in Brazil. I mean, it means a lot to me. I know how many of you guys out there, and I would love to come and say hi to you all. I never been to Brazil, so I guess one day I should travel there and hopefully meet some of you guys. But yeah, thank you so much for watching 3 seasons of The Rain, and I hope that you will follow through on other projects that I'm doing, and of course the other guys in The Rain. But yeah, if you don't know what to do, you can just rewatch it again or something. So yeah, thank you guys so much, Bristol, and I love you guys.
Awesome. Lucas,
How do you say love you in Portuguese?
eu te amo.
Once again?
Eu te amo.
Eu te amo.
Yeah, that's perfect. You're fluent.
I'll have no trouble going to Brazil. I'll just talk Portuguese and it'll be bye guys.
Ciao.
Bye.